Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Figure Study, where we appreciate the form in Transformers. And today I am just about finishing off the Make Toys Guardia week. Now I've finally gotten my hands on Vulcan, specifically the MTCM-04C Vulcan, because that distinction is important. And yeah, I am okay. So I just got this guy in last night. I've messed around with him a little bit, and he is pretty darn cool. Now, I will say, this vehicle mode, I both think it's really great and have some issues with it. One big one being the fact that the ladder is actually fully extended right now, and if you retract the ladder, it just kind of proportionally looks weird. Like it only covers like 2/3 of the vehicle mode. It just seems like if it's retracted, it should actually come a little bit further out. But whatever. Yeah, the vehicle mode actually looks pretty good, and it's long. This sucker seems. I'm not going to pull out a ruler, but this sucker seems like it's at least a foot long. It's pretty impressive. Really digging the blue. Lots and lots of molded and painted details along here. I love the silver panels, the gray panels. Oddly, the windows along the side are gray, but the windows in front are like this tinted, translucent plastic, and it's kind of like, why? Like, they could have just painted these the same color as these, or made it whatever. Yeah, I mean, he looks good. It's a little bit weird that the hubcaps on the fire truck are blue, same blue as the rest of it, but yeah, there's just some really impressive, just a really impressive level of detail here. And of course, the nicely painted grille with the lights, the extended bumper, all that detail that goes around to the side and to the back. And then the back of the fire truck is where, like, okay, this is where some of it starts to fall apart. Now, the back here, it's the combined mode chest. It's not very well. Like, it's great that it's incorporated into the vehicle mode, and it's great that it kind of locks everything together, which, by the way, this guy locks together like a boss. I mean, it's incredible. Like, the amount of tabbing and locking that goes on here. Like, this guy in any mode is really solidly held together. It's very impressive. But anyway, this just doesn't look quite right to me. The ladder's all right. You know, the main thing that I think a lot of people are bugged by, and it does kind of bug me too, is up here. These are just the robot mode arms folded back. I mean, honestly, even though they're in plain sight, they actually are situated and hidden well enough that they don't immediately read as arms. But because of the gray plastic here, it makes it really hard to pull out the flashers that are up here. And it's kind of a shame. I mean, yeah, it doesn't necessarily look like robot mode arms tucked away, but it does look like just a massive gray metal parts, and then you can kind of make out the little red flashing lights, which is a bit disappointing, and is also why I prefer having the ladder extended, because it kind of helps to cover that up a little bit. But anyway, he also has all this other junk on him, which normally I would not feature the accessories, but a number of the accessories are actually important for the vehicle mode, so we're doing them all. So these little rack things can pull off. Kind of. Take some wiggling. There we go. Get this out of the way. Another reason why I have the accessories on is because they're kind of necessary for hiding a lot of the other vehicle imperfections. Because with all that stuff gone, he looks pretty bare. I mean, he's still, a decent looking fire truck, especially like from this angle and this angle, but this all just kind of looks a little unsightly, which is also a shame because you need to take at least the guns off the sides if you want to be able to rotate the ladder, which you can rotate the ladder, not all the way around, but yeah, it's a cool little detail that they added there. I dig it. And you can see some more molded details kind of that are covered up by a lot of the accessories, which we'll get into in some of his other modes because that's really where you see them. But yeah, I mean, he hides the robot away pretty well overall. But it's just, this part kind of bugs me, but not enough to really, hate on the toy, because this thing is actually really, really cool. And again, I'm really impressed with the engineering. Anyway, let's get him into robot mode. I will do my best not to gush too much over the engineering, because that's not what this series is about, but holy crap, the engineering on this guy. So, Vulcan as Vulcan, like actually Vulcan. He is so ridiculously cool. I am absolutely in love with this aesthetic. And yeah, I know some people take issue with the whole, reimagining of Hotspot thing. It's kind of like, fine, whatever. I understand if you're like a longtime fan of the series, the cartoons, and all that, then, yeah, they definitely did something different with him. But I love what they did with him. It's so cool. I mean, his head looks pretty darn nice. Let's see if I can scoot this over a little bit more. Get a better look at him. Like, his head looks cool. And yeah, okay, some people don't like the little yellow lights on top, but that is a badass looking head. I don't even care. I will fight you on it. I mean, the chest, the details, the colors, the way that the truck just kind of panels around his arms, and then like, so much cool stuff going on here. The feet, some people don't like the red on the feet. I think it looks totally fine, and you don't really notice it when you're looking at the rest of the majesty that is Vulcan. It's, who's looking at his feet at this point? He is just so neat. And, you've got the ladder on the back, which doesn't really do much when it's attached back here anymore, but doesn't really need to. I really like having the front of the vehicle mode as his giant shoulders. That is a really, really cool look. And yeah, he is just so neat. It's weird though, like, for all the detail and color that he has going on, there isn't actually a lot of paint in his robot mode. Like, there's some paint here. There's obviously paint on the face, and then like paint on the windows here, and like some of the paneling on the arms, and some down here. But like, there's really not much paint on him. But honestly, I don't think he needs it. He looks so great. There's so many little details just hiding in here. I will say though, what the heck are these and what purpose do they serve? None of the modes actually have a purpose for these weird little waggly panels that are attached by a ball joint and can move around and don't really do anything. Like, ever. I don't get that. I mean, fine. It's fine, but it's just weird to me. But that is basic Vulcan. Now there's armored up Vulcan, which, again, normally I avoid accessories, but in this case, because they're integrated into the vehicle mode, they're getting reintegrated into the robot mode. So, I have to figure out try to remember the proper orientation here. Where... I already forgot how I'm supposed to connect these, because they slide along a track. Oh, here we go. So, and this is also just kind of a good sign of the engineering here. You've got these tracks here and slot here and stuff on these sides, and it all just kind of plugs together very, very nicely and very solidly. Where's the other thing? There's the other thing. Wonder if I should have these. Nope, I can't turn those around. Well, maybe I can. Just wiggle that around to try and cover up the screw holes a little bit. Nah, forget it. Anyway, plug that in as well. And now his back's all missiled up. Oh, but it doesn't end there. Now there are the sides of his legs. And much like, find the right one here, much like Metal Storm from Quantron, you've got the combiner feet, which are, I also have to say, amazingly hidden in vehicle mode. This whole foot just like flips up and it becomes part of the vehicle mode. That's just so cool. Anyway, so got this, and this just clips onto his leg. Clips onto his leg. There we go. And even that, like, it lines up perfectly with this panel here. They actually went that far as to get that kind of alignment going. I am just blown away by the design of this guy. Anyway, clip that on there. Clip it. Clip it. There we go. And here is a much more bulked out Vulcan who also needs his gun, which is made up of the two parts that were attached to the top of the fire truck before. Plug that in. And there you have the armored up mode of Vulcan. And again, I was a big fan of Quantron, but the design for everything from Guardia has been fantastic. And this is... Vulcan is easily the strongest out of the entire set. Like, this guy is awesome as a standalone figure. Even, like, yeah, he comes with all these combiner parts, but the combiner parts are incorporated so well into the vehicle mode and his armored up mode that it doesn't even matter. Like, this guy is awesome even if you're not getting the other 4 bots. He is so cool. And I love how this bulks him out. Like, his shoulders didn't really need any bulking out, but yeah, that's unfortunate. Loose elbow. But, like, the little added bulk to his legs, the added bulk to his back, it's all very nice. But, again, you don't need any of this for him to be awesome. And it's so great. And I'm going to be saying that a lot, and I don't care. It's just great. Get rid of that. And yeah, I mean, even just standalone Vulcan with no added bits, he just makes for such a cool looking robot. The silhouette is great. The shape is great. The detail, the colors. I'm really into this blue. It's like, yeah, I know it's basically hotspot blue, and that's totally fine. And I get that. It's just I'm not knocking the original figure. It's just I'm a big fan of the color. And it works so well here with the reds and the blacks and the silvers and the tiny little bits of yellow that complement it. It's so cool. It's so neat. Oh, I love this guy. I even love how, while the shoulders are bulked out, I really like how this little bit kind of comes out and just disrupts the look of the truck cab a tiny bit. Just add a little bit more texture and visual interest to the shoulders. There's just so much going on with this guy that's really cool. And when you're looking up close, there's so many little details that are really awesome and really fun to appreciate. And then when you're looking at him from afar, he just makes for a really interesting silhouette. It's so cool. Like, he doesn't actually get overwhelming despite having so many details going on. He is just a great figure, great looking figure, great playing figure. He's great. But that's not all he does. So that is it for Make Toys Vulcan. We're almost done. Tomorrow we get to look at Guardia. Yeah, it's happening. I'm going to turn him into a torso. We're going to add on some extraneous vehicles, and he is going to turn into a very large blue and white and red, and yeah, he's gonna get bigger. He's gonna get much bigger, and we're going to take a look at that tomorrow. So, thank you everybody for watching. As per usual, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Any combination of those three would make me a happy Rob and would also make Vulcan very happy. And you want Vulcan to be happy, don't you? I mean, look at that face. Look at that face. You want him to smile, right? You want to make Vulcan happy? Yeah, you do. We all want Vulcan to be happy. So, thank you for watching. We will pick this up tomorrow. And remember, art is more than meets the eye.